Hello everybody and welcome back to Nerdy Miniatures, and in today's video we are going to be returning to my Nighthaunt figures as we paint the fearsome Lord Vitriolic. So if you want to see how I did it, then just keep on watching. Let's begin with having a look at who Lord Vitriolic is. Lords Vitriolic are arch poisoners who create all manners of potions to hurl at their foes. Fear-inducing gases, scorching acids and spirit-writhing elixirs are all part of their deadly alchemical arsenal. Each baleful concoction blightens the soul as well as the flesh. So overall, a pretty fearsome figure. So to begin, let's look at how I painted this. To cover the bones, I went in with Wraithbone before going over the top with Seraphim Sepia. This was mostly just to stain them to give them more of an aged look, as these guys have been dead for quite a while. After that, I moved on to any metallic elements, like the mask and his scythe. To paint these, I used lead belcher. Next, I moved on to the apothecary shelf that he carries on his back for his deadly potions. For this, I used Catchin flesh to fill this in. Next, I moved on to his robes. I wanted to keep these light as I wanted to add some bright colours on this figure, something I hadn't tried before, so I covered these in a couple layers of Ulthin Grey to make sure they were fully covered. Now moving on to the fun stuff. I went in with a base of Phalanx Yellow to make the liquid that he's pouring out of the glass look extra toxic before filling in the various test tubes and other bottles using Cyberite Green and Doomfire Magenta to keep all of them vibrant. Now the yellow was dry, it was time to go with the technical paint Tesseract Glow. I absolutely adore this paint, I've used it so many times, but I wanted to see how it would look over yellow, and it actually turned out quite well. I'm going to build this up in about 4 layers just to make sure it had a glowing toxic feel. For the liquid coming out of this, I mixed that same yellow with the paint White Scar just to dull it down a little bit before painting it over the spillage. Using that same technical paint, I covered the liquid coming out of the bottle, letting it set in the crevices. This made sure it looked extra toxic even when out of the bottle, and whilst that dried, I covered the body and other elements of the figure using Nuln oil to add depth and a dingy, dirty look to the figure. Now it's time to move on to the final steps, the highlights. Using Phalanx Yellow, I went over certain parts of the poured liquid to re-add that vibrant yellow and add a subtle bit of contrast. And on the robes, I went in with White Scar and a thin brush, adding slight lines over where the wrinkles and creases naturally sit on the figure, just to re-add a little bit of brightness and otherwise life to this undead figure. For the base, I went in using Mechanicus Standard Grey to finish off the entire figure. And that is it. This is actually my first ever colourful Nighthaunt figure. The most colourful I've gone before is purples and pinks, but I've kept the rest of the robes dark when I've done that. So having something so bright and vibrant was a new touch for me, but I actually quite enjoyed it. It was quite enjoyable to do something so fun. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see what other Nighthaunt figures I've got, then I'd recommend you look at the Nighthaunt playlist, which you can find on this channel. If you want to see what other figures I've done, what other figures I've painted, and hopefully what I will be getting in the future. In fact, we've recently just picked up the Nighthaunt Spearhead, which I'm very much looking forward to painting. It's going to be a long process, but a very fun one. Down in the description, you will find 2 links. The first to Mr. Nerd's channel. So if you enjoy MMOs and action RPGs, then please feel free to have a look at that. If you enjoy fantasy lore on topics like Tolkien and Warhammer, which if you're watching this, I can probably assume you do, you might want to check out my channel. The link will be in the description below. Anyway, that'll be it from me today. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are in the world. And as always, peace out, guys.